we did a good job, and I didn't die.
Well, I'm glad you didn't die. Like that's a good thing.
Good thing you didn't die, so we can have this convo. Hey!
We have in this nation, Joe, are astronomical. People are living longer with cancer, and they're beating cancer. Like, we're doing a great job on cancer. People say our healthcare system is just
really 85% mortality,
and they don't actually break down. Like, we're #1 in the world with trauma. Like we don't have as many murders, and I'm going to tell you guys, it's not for a lack of violence or people attempting to kill each other. We just have fucking shit hot ER docs. Like, they are fucking good. We have shit hot paramedics. They have tools they didn't have in the 80s. They have tools that they didn't have in the 70s. These guys are fucking better, quicker, faster. We have mercy flights. We have an array of tools, and our trauma docs are shit hot. They are so good. They're the best in the world. If we had a plague and had to go to war with the rest of the world, I can promise you we're going to win because we have the best emergency room care people in the fucking world. We can patch, plug, and go faster than everybody, and we keep them alive. We do really great with cancers. Like, amazingly longevity with certain types of cancers. The ones that, like, Age Country does a little better in some categories, but cancer overall, we're winning on that. We're doing better. Our research is massive. I think it takes too long. You can have your conspiracy theories, but we're doing good with it. We're providing it. Now, of course, it comes at a cost. I have to now care for you, and you need a lot more drugs, and it's much more expensive because of those skills and because of that care. It costs a fortune, and it is what it is. But I'd much rather we pay that fortune to keep you here, Joe, than just to say, you know what, we're just going to give you 2 Motrin and tell you to suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, man, I didn't get my care at Johns Hopkins. I got my care at the University of Maryland. And the facility I went to, like going to a fucking country club. This fucking place was amazing. It was beautiful. Now, they didn't do beautiful things because it was an infusion center, but it was like going to a fucking country club. It was so good.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Is it for everybody? No, I get it. There's different networks and different constraints, and when we find those variances, I can't account for it. I encourage people, every time you see your doctor, if it's a major, if it's a surgery, if it's cancer, if they tell you, hey, you got cancer and it's Tuesday, by Wednesday you should be seeing another doctor. You should get a second opinion, third opinion, even if it costs you out of pocket, because I hate to tell folks this, we're seeing like 15 to 20% in some regions of the country where we go get a second opinion and we're finding out, oh, well, they don't have cancer. Well, why did this doctor do it? And they're like, oh, well, I just assumed it's cancer because I saw it before. Well, dipshit, you were going to send them through fucking toxic drugs. You were going to put them on chemo. You were going to do all of this shit. And they don't have cancer. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And the doctors in the hospitals go, well, misdiagnosis happen all the time. And there's not a real repercussion for that or anything to kind of take away, because maybe they did miss it, maybe they misdiagnosed. But having that second and third, and recommended 100 times. The doctor says, I'm going to cut you, I would immediately go ask. In regards to that, if you get an ortho surgeon saying, hey, you need to do this, or we're going to cut into you, and you don't have rheumatoid arthritis, why the fuck are you getting a surgery at this point? What's causing that? Go get a second, go get a third opinion. Look at alternative care pathways and look at those, because a lot of the times hospitals are really quick to put you on a trend to cut first and then try to rehabilitate you. And sometimes you just may need a different care plan that's more, I guess, catered to your injury or what your condition is. And it might be better. You might just need physical therapy, but just at a longer time. And not have to go through the brutality of a surgery and then risk that. Yes. There's a huge reason why those cancer equipments, it does need to be used and it does need to be paid for.
It almost sounds like a cliche, but saying that what is our responsibility to keep ourselves healthy by exercising, nutrition, having a good life, behaving in those types of activities. And that part of it goes quite often, people we just, for one of the reasons, we just don't do things like eat well, exercise, get enough sleep, and clearly the responsibility that we have as people to keep ourselves healthy as much as possible. It's just not there.
I'll tell you the one thing that you can do, and this is one thing that I've seen predominantly. You can start with your teeth. Like, go visit your dentist. Go make sure you're taking care of that gum line. Making sure that you actively, like, don't use the same brush for 2 fucking years on this stuff. Because a lot of infections, a lot of things start with the mouth. You ingest a lot, you breathe in a lot, you take it in. Infections usually start around the teeth. You'd be surprised at how many conditions will stem off of the fact that you may have a toothache. Do your preventive cares. Yes, eat healthy, exercise, I would say. But do less sedentary things. Like, get up, go hiking, go for a walk for 10 miles. You don't have to run. You just go for a walk. Go enjoy it. Go for a swim. Do something. Keep bending. Like, yeah, going to the gym is great, but, you know, it's not the only thing you can do. And then as far as nutrition, just cut down. You don't need a super-sized fucking gallon jug of Coca-Cola and 12 Twinkies. Like, if you look down and you can't see your kneecaps or your toes, you may have a problem. But also, keep track of, like, your intake. Like, you shouldn't eat that much sugar. Like, a lot of people I see, the number one claim I got right now, and for right now, particularly in the South, obesity, musculoskeletal diabetes. It's always there. It is fucking rampant, and you can help control that. You know, you don't have to go through the stages of CKD, chronic kidney disease, 1 through 4, and then go into end-stage renal disease. Pretty much you're going to die. We don't need to go through all that. We don't have to do transplants. Like, you can do that. Put down the carton of cigarettes that you smoke a day. You know, I think that's how it goes. I don't know, fucking know. But, you know, stop taking drugs. Like, I mean, I guess a little weed's okay, but you don't be needing to crack or cocaine. That fucks you up.
Yes, the simple thing is start cooking for yourself. You don't have to buy every meal prepared someplace else. You don't know what's in it. And
Mike is a health brainer. Joe, like, he's a health guy. He fucking does this shit all for a living.
Who does?
The psych. He's right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't cook for yourself.
That's the single side. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Missing you, brother. Missing you.
All right.
Thank you so much, brother. What a life.
Don't fucking tell me I know about it. You know.
I didn't watch it.
I know about it.
Watch it, bro.
I know about it.
Did you watch that shit?
No, bro. I heard about it.
Oh man, you gotta throw room on that, bro. This is like, how long is it, Mike? How long is it? It's as long as you want to listen to it, bro. I'm gonna say that. So it's probably gonna be. Is it good? Is it good though? Well, it depends what you want to watch it for. I didn't watch it to learn. I watched it to see what was better. And that bitch is just fucking dumb, bro. I don't like just not knowing. You just not knowing it. What's up? You just not knowing that she not that bright. Shit,
Yo,
I'm not.
is that Mike? Yo, bro, what's up?
What's up, man? What's up, nigga?
Yo,
Hey,
yo.
so check this out. Now she's just like, look, Andrew Wilson is just a bit on the radar. I don't really know much about him, but like, let's just say I found the transcript of the debate on paper. Forget about who they are. Bro, she just fucking sucks, bro. And I'm reading the comments on like Instagram. It's like, bro, you talk about dumb fucking people. People really think that she won, and I'm just like, dog. Like, I had to put a post on my IG. Hey, look. Like, poking holes in, like, someone's fucking claims doesn't mean that yours is true. She made a claim. I think she called the guy, it starts with a P, like, what do you call that shit? Where, like, Potsy or some shit like that.
Roxy?
I don't know.
Patsy.
Something.
From
Patsy.
Patsy's the word.
Okay, I don't know what that means, right? But she's calling him that, and this fool was the whole time. What's the evidence for that? And she's like, blah 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 blah. And all she does is poke holes in his shit. And it's like, well, okay,
Debate
cool.
to some people, bro.
Huh?
Like, I just poke holes without making it clear. That's what Samoa does. That's
Yeah, so it's like she pokes holes, but like that's why I went on IG. I go, hey, look, if I'm debating 1 + 1 is 3, and you're debating 1 + 1 is 4, you can poke holes in my 3 and my reasoning, but it doesn't mean your 4 is right. There's gonna come a time where you have to defend your position, you dumb fuck. And she never did, bro. So I don't want to spoil it for anything. That's my position. I just thought for sure some of you guys want to see it, but go check it out. Like, watch as long as you are interested into it, because maybe towards the end it gets boring, but.
Yo, Mike,
I never liked Candace Owens in her like little debate fields. I don't get her. I don't understand what she's trying to get at, and she never really. She goes down more conspiracies than it is conservatism or political struggle.
She thinks there's a 0% chance that guy either something over Georgia. Sorry, Finn, I know you were talking.
You good. No, you good.
Oh, sorry.
I've been saying for years that she's not that smart. I've been saying this. When she was like at the height of her freaking popularity, I've been saying that she's not that freaking smart. She does the same thing that freaking Tatum does. Like when you get into like specifics and like
Oh, is that like the
talking
former police officer?
I hate that dude. I freaking hate that dude too. He's horrible. He's the worst.
He's not like the most intellectual, but he's good with it.
I think he's good on like Finley, like more like generic topics or like more cultural like things. But when he starts to go to nuanced, deep, investigative, like political journalism, I think it's way out of his depth.
Exactly. That's the same thing Owens does. Like, because I think that she's good on like the family values, conservatives, like the journal stuff. But when you get into like the deep topics, she don't know what the hell she's talking about. She pivots the talking points.
I think she's actually only good against college kids who are freshmen and who really think they learned the world through TikTok, but really don't know.
What's the guy's name? Tatum something.
What's his name? Officer Brandon Tatum. He was officer in freaking Arizona.
Yeah, but he's so like.
I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, these two like kids are like blah blah blah. One of them's like a white redneck kid. And he was like, "Oh, okay, so you're gonna try to tell me about the black experience? And I'm black." She goes, and the girl's like, "Yeah, I'm black." And at some point he goes, "Yeah, who? Which one?" And she goes, "Which one do you think?" He goes, "I don't think any." Basically saying like you're lying. And in that moment, bro, that shit was funny because that kid didn't do anything. It's like, it was fucking. He had like a little notch. So I like him. He's funny.
I think Candace is good at one thing, making money for Candace.
That's weird, bro. She's a weird brain human. Like how she
That's
sees
crazy.
how she sees the world and the positions her brain, like the results that her brain spits out is like, damn, I'm so happy I don't have that brain. She's just wrong. I don't know. I don't get it. The other guy, he's like you remind me of what's that guy's name? Fucking Vince Vaughn.
Oh God! You know who her debate style is exactly the same. And one of the reasons I don't like it, and you're gonna hate me for this, but you can't argue against it. It's Monica. It's the same style.
I don't think she has a debate style. I think she has. It reminds me of people that just like to be sneaky heard or something about like back and forth. Because when you watch this, like she has all these rules. She's more verbose, and it's about like this shit. It's worth listening to, dude.
You have to give her credit for having a well-practiced rhetoric. But she says the same thing over and over again. And it's not a fucking practice.
Yeah.
No, I've been working, so I just wrapped up, and then I was talking to these guys about healthcare and that, or health insurance, and then someone mentioned it earlier and said it was bad, but I'm trying to remember. Somebody said it, and they brought it up for a brief second, but like I don't follow. Like I don't like what is it? Tucker Carlson. I don't like him.
I don't fuck. He's another weird person. I like the debates. I just get the debate, and I just know that like the anticipation to watch it was like building up where I think that I paid like $300K or something like that, right?
It's insane.
Yeah, so like you know, so it was more of what I just wanted to see the styles like versus like just to see something spot up in that position. That's like
What did she get back? He was a debate partner.
this guy Andrew Wilson. Andrew Wilson. Here's what they gave to. This was dope. Okay, so Andrew Wilson, he's like this kind of like what is this kind of on this shit? It's not like I don't know what shit looks like really, but like this stylistic in the sense of like all that good stuff. But so he has his own little like common slope pitches and so on. And this kid is obviously heard all her movies, but within the debate, each debater had 3 fact checkers of their own that at any time you fucking fact check. That shit's sick. So like, let's just say like I'm debating Nathan, right? And I got 3 people that are fucking able to fact check anything, whatever at any time. The moderator's like, oh, we got a fact check coming in. Boom, and we spit it out. And then Nathan can say, I think that's just really dope. That's
How did it work with the debate? Because that would be cool to set up something like that here.
It worked good in my opinion. I think I don't want to give it away. I'm not gonna say that you guys should watch it, but there was definitely somebody that lost more than they won when it came to fact check.
My name ain't going wild family. Just say spit out and you gotta pause it. I'm sorry. You
What I
gotta
say?
get
What
to
I
the
say?
habit. Just spit it out.
Oh, dude, I have a pause in a long time.
No, man, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, I know. Anyways,
Debate up there again for you guys if you want to put.
yeah, you can watch it.
You're talking about the Candace Sullivan, Andrew Wilson.
Yeah, did you watch it too?
Honestly, I'm on it like 45th minute. I'm on like
What do you think so far?
so. Let me explain this. So when I was watching the clips, it really seems like Candace was stomping him, but it doesn't feel that way during the interview.
Oh, God. Okay, so when you saw selected clips, you get one narrative, and now you're watching it. Okay.
Yeah, he's fine.
Was it on her channel?
No. It was on the with that it's like that Persian guy's channel.
Yeah, but Mike,
Just as David.
what's weird about it, Mike, is I think they're at her house though. She mentions that like you came to my house. I think it is happening with that David, but I think she set it up at her house. I think that's where they are.
Well, that has to have some type of psychological play. You know.
Well, so the clips that like where show the clips because Andrew Wilson's like a smoker and he like shakes his leg a lot, so they focus on that and like they're. But yeah, I think he's holding
I'm
his own.
pacing right now. Like that's what I'm doing right now. I'm a fidgeter. The way I talk with my hands. So that's like those things. I mean, like, they can. Look, if that's like a focus, I don't know. I think there are other things to focus on as well. So I'm not going to take that away because I guess I might point that out in some cases, but it's not like.
It's like I do that too in like meetings. I'll sit there and start talking with my hands to the point that one of my coworkers who else was on there gave me a whiteboard and a marker and basically said every time you go on the screen just start drawing this stuff out so that we can understand. She goes, first you move way too fast. Secondly, you tend to move your hands a great deal when you get very animated, when you get down into the nuances. So just write it out on the board and draw it out.
I wouldn't stop doing that for you.
You can tell he was in the Navy, bro. That's what was best.
I'll say this right now. Look, like if it's affecting your performance in the sense that you're not able to get the right idea or convey a message, yeah, you want to stop it. Like the idea is fidgeters tend to be burning. I guess you could say less fat than other people. Burn anywhere from like 2 to 6 calories more.
Mike, you go Mike and this fat phobia.
Oh, bro, hey, I have a new one. I have a new term. There's fucking fast money now. I work with the guys at fast money, bro. I swear to God, there's fast money.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Fast winners. Nothing's ever their fault. It's never their fault. It's someone else's fault. They're fucking fast winning. So, yeah, no, you don't stop at 50. I'll never stop. My mom, I can guarantee she has a little bit of ADHD, but you know what? That's why her age is what her age is. She fucking has it still. Guess what? That's why people my lumber because movement or lack of movement is why people die when they get older. That's why when they fall and break their hip and shit, right? They remain sedentary, they can't move, they get fucking pneumonia, their lungs fill up with fucking fluid, and they're done. The ability to move, the desire to move, is something that's going to keep you around for a longer period of time. You also need muscle mass, it's like that's still and all. But like that's why leg strength and all that kind of shit makes a difference. So fucking be a mover. That's why I would keep moving until I'm like 60.
Like Mike, while I was talking in this room, I drew on the whiteboard and I kept a pad while talking about insurance. Like I drew icons and things that I normally associate with certain programs and whatnot. I just drew it all out, and I'm sitting here looking. I'm looking now at my paper, going all the notes and stuff that I took, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I gotta stop doing this shit.
Yo, Tim, what you say?
I said you'll get close with Mike. I don't know. The only
Yeah, around 60.
The only real, like, in the beginning, right, the first 5 minutes, you don't get home with that gotcha, and you said you were a sniper, he doesn't get what his wife did. Other than that, there's no real, like, gotcha. It really feels like
So look, so here's, okay, I hear what you're saying. I think there were moments where she's like, you didn't even know the 7 charges. Like, there's something about that, right? But here's the thing. So she makes the claim. She's saying that the guy is a thing. I forgot the word patsy or some shit.
Yeah,
right? Patsy. Okay. What exactly does that mean, by the way?
Bald guy. You're the guy that's set up to take the blame.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So she's calling him that, and the whole time the guy's like, okay, like me, whatever. Now, give your evidence for that, and he gets nothing. You know what it clearly is? It's the creationist versus evolution debate. Oh, I'm sorry, not evolution debate. Yeah.
Darwinism. Yeah.
So it should be fucking abiogenesis, right? So the thing is that they feel, the creationists commonly feel that if they prove evolution wrong, therefore creationism is right. It's like, no. Okay, let's just say you debunked that model. You did it clearly. Now you have to climb your own mountain. Let's see it. Take me through it. Just because you prove my shit wrong doesn't mean you prove it right. Yours right. Because we could both be
Mike,
wrong.
it's worse than that. They're not even proving it wrong. They're saying that, hey, I can show you how you could be skeptical about your position.
Yes,
You
exactly.
can be skeptical about anything. That's
Exactly.
the
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. No, that's a great point. That's exactly right. So it's like, dude, what about your shit now? And I'll be honest with you, I was waiting. I'm like, okay, well, this is the time. And it's like,
Yeah, she gave
I got enough.
The other thing, too, is if you know, so I actually got, I got 45 minutes left. I thought I won't get moving. But only his team puts clips in. I don't know if you noticed that. Only his team calls out clips, like, hey, and it's all her, like, did you say that and she says certain things, like, I forget how she says it, but I can't see how Erica Kirk isn't complicit in something and blah, blah, blah. But his team is the only one putting out videos, which I thought was telling in a sense, trying to catch.
So do you think it's more marketable than those of you seeing it? Because what I'm going to hear in my side or my circles on the conservative side is how great Candace Owens did. And I promise you, there's going to be a certain person that comes into this room and says, listen to, did you see this? This is so great and blah, blah, blah. And she destroyed it. And you'll hear it from like Samoa and stuff. I don't think Candace Owens is really a great representative of conservatism. But do you think it was she got the shots in that make her look good? Because Tim, you said through the clips, you saw you looked like she was packing up. Do you think she was being more performative to get those individual 30-second clips?
I don't know. He calls it out a lot. There's a lot of inference made by her.
She had nothing, bro.
Yeah.
She talked about other things. She like explain it like this, like it's more like a lot of meta shit. Like me and you are debating, Brad, and you start questioning. Look, Brad. I'm not going to sit here and allow this to be an interrogation, right? You can't sit here and start talking like that. It's like, and like I don't know, man. It's just it's her glass is empty, bro. She had nothing. Like, maybe the sniper thing that was kind of stupid.
Oh, you know what that she said? Actually, Mike, that I said, okay, a little cause for pause. Because I actually think Andrew Wilson did good. Is when he questioned her sources, and then she was like, well, I showed a picture that no one else saw, and so people think my sources are good. And she named like 3 things that she got from her sources.
You know what? I thought about that too, and I noticed he didn't push back.
Yeah.
But the reason why, because it's pushing back would take a chance. It could be the case that you verify that after the fact. So that's one of those things where if you gamble and lose, it makes you look bad as a gotcha moment. Not that she drove her point home, right? Just to show like, I got you. But it could be the case that those pictures were just common things. Like when they were talking about the 211 something where she was talking about the hearsay rule.
Yeah, like the Utah hearsay rule that she that's where I don't really understand what she's saying because it doesn't make sense.
Was saying, look, what she did was she conflated that whole thing basically. She like said, hey, look, the whole hearing or most of it was based off of that.
It's all hearsay.
And then she cites the rule and then it's like, no. Pay attention. That, I guess you could say, type of hearing allows hearsay, but it's not necessarily the case that the whole thing is based off of hearsay. So then it's like when you go through a series of things, it's like DNA is not hearsay, right? So, and then they talk about the text messages and so on. I don't know. To me, it was like.
What about the bag thing? They didn't go too deep into it, but they gave the backpack back because they didn't suspect Erica or the guy.
I think what he said.
And I knew a guy who died in high school. It was a party situation and there was some confusion as to which boat he was going on. He jumped off one boat to go to another, but the other boat left. So he just sort of got left out there and he drowned. And he was a very athletic guy. I mean, it's sad. Like when alcohol's involved, these kinds of things do happen. There's a lot of moving parts. It's super late, early in the morning. Accidents happen. I mean, I'm from Florida. Like people slip and fall, hit their head on a freaking dock, drunk, and they die. I knew another guy that died like that. I mean, it's crazy. And so him being athletic doesn't say much to me because these accidents happen all the time like this. And there were 300 people on that island at one point. I mean, there was a lot of people. So it sounds like it was a pretty fun, wild party. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I don't see enough here to make me think that these boys deserve to be getting death threats for any reason. It seems like they all truly loved him. It seems like he was a very well-loved guy. I don't see any motive here, unless there was some sort of altercation. And like you said, were they drunk, did something? But I just don't see that so far. So we'll see. But those are my.
I think that what strikes me though is the inconsistency, like in terms of why I believe that there was some foul play. There's inconsistencies in the story, and I listened to the interview. One of them. I haven't followed the case, completely like that. I'm like, I have shit to do. But it's very weird to me because I think when you're innocent and you're telling the truth, things are very, very clear. When you're lying, and I'm somebody who's done my fair share of lying, things can be, although I'm probably a better liar than these people, it's a lot more difficult to, maintain, especially when you're recalling certain events and certain things. It gets a little bit murky, first of all. Second of all, there wasn't an argument there because he had mentioned there was some audio about him and him telling somebody to give back his phone. Third, there was, when they came back home, they all had privatized his social media, and then they had his phone, and then they didn't inform the mother that they had his phone and she had to discover that when she did like a Find My iPhone thing. So that to me indicates that you're hiding something, and clearly it's something that you feel like could be incriminating or damaging, because otherwise, if this is your friend, and I do believe that they were at some point genuine friends, but that doesn't actually, like, so what you're saying, Holly, I think literally, I mean, we see this all the time, whether it's friends, whether it's, family, husbands, spouses, whatever.
Where's he at? I don't know. I'm getting tired. I want to go home. Let's
you
go.
don't get into an altercation and maybe things went too far, and then you did something that you just can't, take back,
That's true, and I'll reserve my, we'll see what happens. But I also want to say real quick, this seems like a small town. I think, I don't know if the sheriff is doing the most bang up job. I don't blame the parents for putting pressure any way they can. I completely understand their perspective on this. I mean, it sounds like they haven't had hardly any communication with the sheriff, and I mean that's pretty fucked up. I mean, that would really piss me off as a parent.
You about to make me racist.
Okay.
This is this white liberal guilt here. No, I'm messing with you.
No.
So,
crappy sheriffs out there.
well, that is true. So here's this, just to catch you guys up, some of this stuff be redundant, particularly to the Thunder. She's still here? Oh, okay, she's still here. So she heard this many times because I said this. So disagree with a lot of what you said, JJ. Here we go. So firstly, the boys left him not abandoned on the island because he wanted to speak to the girl. Now, based on what Ann just said, Holly just said, which actually stands out a bit, that there's a possibility that after they hooked up, he went to his boat and the boat was gone, and then he can go catch her because her boat is gone and now he's stranded. That's possible. So far, I don't know if that's the case. But it seems that they left him there with her because he wanted to be left alone according to what was being requested. Now, Javon Williams and Traceman Shepard, they both said they also left their phones on the boat based on what was happening. By the way, that video of somebody arguing, that was Traceman. He'd been interviewed on TMZ after that video came out. He said that was him. So it wasn't Nolan arguing by the phone. It was him arguing with someone. I don't think it was by the phone. I can't remember what it was about, but it was some trivia. It wasn't nothing super serious. So he talked about that. He spoke on Officer Tatum's interview, as well as the other boys. Javon hadn't spoken to Tatum, but he spoke to TMZ. So long story short, they left their phones. That was kind of a normal thing because people couldn't, dock up on the island. So people typically would get off and walk or take little boats, whatever, to get to the island because there was no docking pier or nothing like that. Anyhow, so they got back to the shore or to their spot. They was getting their phones off the boat. Whose phone is this? That's Nolan's phone. Where's Nolan? So they started looking for Nolan. They couldn't call him. They got his phone, plus he's on the island, presumably, so there's no way to get in touch with him. So they looked for him. They couldn't find him. That's when they alerted the authorities. Supposedly went back to the island looking for him. And, of course, they didn't have the parents' information. His Nolan's phone is locked. So the whole idea about them getting the phone and erasing stuff is definitely a problem, which is going to be the last one I'm going to make because I'm going to tell you why it's such a big problem. But they finally let the parents know after the pinging or whatever. The parents got the phone back and the keys because, of course, they was the last people on the boat with his stuff. So, of course, they took their friend's stuff after looking for him. What ended up happening was when the parents came, according to the story of both sides, they gave the information. The parents tried to make it seem like it's something suspicious, but the bottom line is they had his stuff. They just took a little second to look for it and locate it, and they gave it to the parents. There was no problem with that. As of now, because a lot of points have been made, but I'm kind of jump to the a lot of stuff that shit.
Yeah, but
How you doing?
I had a
call.
different story.
I had a call. What's up?
Nothing much. I just want to say.
Yeah,
I
did
just
to the police.
So what?
Katie
I
told a
just
different
want-
story to the police.
Who told a different story to the police?
Katie, the girl that
Okay.
they claimed that he stayed with, she told the police that he left with his original
Yeah.
friends, that he didn't leave with her, that
No.
she wouldn't.
No, that's a consistent story. Think about it. He told his boys to leave him with the girl. So he went to the girl. And then when he left the girl, he was going home. That's not a contradiction.
That's what
I
I'm
mean, he
saying.
did
There's
go
two
to the
different
next-
stories that are two different paths. If he left with the
No,
boy,
it's the same
then that
path.
means that her story was right. That he
No,
did leave
no,
with
no,
his
think about
friends.
it.
If he didn't, then
was-
she's lying.
I think you misunderstand the story. When he left her, he told her he was going to live with his friends. He never made it back to his friends.
No,
That's
I
the thing.
get
So
what
he
you're
left
saying, but
him
I'm
to-
saying that Katie,
Okay.
right? I'm saying Katie, being that she was the person that the kids said that he was with Katie. That's what Warren said. He was with Katie. But Katie's saying that they spoke briefly. It wasn't that long. and that she went on her boat, and that he said he was going to go with his original friends, which conflicts their story if they're trying to say that they let him.
He thought they were still there.
That's not a conflict.
He thought they were still. He thought he could catch that boat.
No, that's I get what you guys are saying in theory, but I'm just telling you that there's two different statements.
Those aren't different.
For what happened.
Yeah, I'm saying it's
in the story for the
to...
ending closing portion of the story.
So, Free, can I ask a question? So, I mean,
I was trying to wrap my thing up, but go ahead, bro.
Sure.
Yeah, so I mean, when we look at the greater context of this case, I'm not understanding the outrage. You know, this was a holiday weekend during holiday times, festivities were going on. I mean, when you look at emergency response, policing, law and order, and search and rescue, they had their priorities divided between America just existing. So I don't think that there was some grand conspiracy based on the color of this person. Or any sort of outside identity politics that affected the response of people searching for this young man. Secondly, the other thing that I feel like a lot of people need to take into context is while this young man was heavily intoxicated and getting his party on, so were the other witnesses and the people around them. I think that the biggest takeaway is this is why there's a drinking age. And when you're relying on a bunch of 18 to 20-year-olds to tell you what was going on in the midst of chaos and related to a criminal investigation while they were trying to get their party on, I don't think that you're going to get very many consistent sides of the story. Now, what I'm more interested in is there any sort of indication that there perhaps could be some sort of foul play? Were there any circumstances that people can consistently agree on beyond just speculation and just people insinuating the way that people live their lives? So what are we doing?
No, because we're waiting for the
What are we doing? Just another... Right, and this is just another instance, and this is just another instance where Black people and specifically Black America have their priorities misplaced about talking about some stupid ass shit and the details of some dumbass shit, as opposed to shit that we actually need to be worried about.
I agree, and that's what I was going to say. So as of now, let me finish this point too. I want to address your thing. I think me and Holly are both saying that the story was consistent. That he told. According to the boys, he left them to hang with her. He made it to her and said, "Hey, I'm going back with my boys." He didn't make it back to his boys. That's not a conflicting story. It's consistent, right? So far, it confirms that the boys were telling the truth about him leaving them and making it to her. Because they wouldn't know because they wasn't with him when he was with her. So if he made it to her, that confirms that what they heard was the truth. Or at least what they reported that they heard was the truth. Anyhow, the elephant in the room to me, so I'm going to get to this while I go into all the details. The elephant in the room to me is the issue that the mother so far has not been cooperative with the law enforcement. I hope Jay's still here. Because so far they haven't reviewed the phone. She was the first one to come out with this story that stuff was deleted off the phone. No one has reviewed the phone, maybe not even allegedly her, but at very least her. So after a month and some change, they haven't even done the investigation on the phone to check that out. That she haven't turned it over, she haven't been cooperative. That's kind of the big story right now, the latest on this case. Okay, that's one thing. Secondly, what points a big red flag to me, everyone has talked to the boys. Well, let me not say everyone. Everyone can talk to the boys, but the person who hasn't spoke to the boys is her. She hasn't got anybody on her side speaking to these boys. The boys who last saw him alive, or one of the last people who saw him alive. So to me, Jay, and anybody else who think the boys are guilty of something, there's some malice on their behalf, I'm curious why no one's scrutinizing the mother and why she's acting weird. So right now she's working on a Netflix deal with the story. Look that up. Nolan Wells, Netflix. They're working on a documentary. She hired Ben Crump right off the rip. Immediately before anything was discovered, she hired him the first day, the same day, which is insane. So just all this stuff looks suspicious on her behalf because it doesn't seem like she's trying to get to the bottom of what happened to her child. It seems like she's trying to capitalize on the shit for her own personal gain.
She's a grieving mother. You know how many people start foundations and start...
And the father,
she's a grieving mother.
In my opinion, they're just trying to find out what happened. And so
but
they're
why would they talk to the people who with their child?
Because they're in Mississippi and because of Mississippi reputation and the fact that they were told that it was what they say, no foul play. They kept saying that multiple times and that they just want to know what happened to their son. Why
if they want to know, why would they not talk to the people? But think about it. I'm telling you why. You didn't speak to anyone who spoke to your son last. You're not even inquiring about them. That's number one. Secondly, you wouldn't turn it over to the police to let them know. She could back the phone up. She could release certain things from the phone that shows the data being deleted. She can do anything. She hasn't done that. She just made accusations. And right now, she's not making it clear for them to find out what actually happened. So if she gave her shit, she would at least let someone help her get to the bottom of it. But so far, you got a civil activist boy who's only looking for money.
She's only stated that she's concerned about the fact that the last person who saw her son, and she's concerned about the details surrounding the after that. That's why I stated that last detail who saw him first is the really big issue there. If it was either Katie or if it was
Why is she not complying with the police then? Why is she not complying with it?
I'm not sure why she's not complying with the police.
Because
But
apparently
I'm not saying that she doesn't. She's not trying to fight for what happened to her son, and I don't want to take that from her. It makes sense that she hired Ben Crump because she wants the story to get out there.
Free.
She wants her
You
son
how
to
you
be
being calm, but not
told.
speak to the people who saw your son last? Like he would know, like he would have any information. He's not even trying to speak to them. He can speak to them for her. He ain't even done it. Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all
I'm
going
saying,
too far to try to make it make sense.
why can't you see that she's a mother and that their father just trying to find out what happened and they had to do all they need to do?
Myla, if they were trying to find out, you would speak to people involved. Why does that make sense to you? Why would you not talk to people who were actually there?
They did. They were trying to figure out, but they said they had asked.
They haven't spoke to them. It's been a whole month.
They had asked Javon about it. And so does he not count as a person? You said nobody.
Jesus Christ, Myla.
They want to rehash it free. They want to get free.
I'm just saying an example because you said they didn't ask anybody.
You're arguing with a wall. They want to rehash this shit that don't make sense as opposed to your point. Go and talk to the people, the last people that seen him.
But
I mean, to me, that's very simply pointed. No, anything that y'all are doing, I feel like questioning all of this shit as opposed to supporting the woman talking to the last people that saw that young man. I feel like y'all are just peddling hot air for the sake of peddling hot air.
I just said the last person because that part matters. I keep saying the Katie in her story saying that he left with his original friends. Because remember, after that window time of who saw him last, he's dead after that. They can only track to a certain amount of time. So in that short amount of time, whoever saw him last, that's the one we need to know. That's who needs to be the person answering what happened to Nolan Wells. And the assumption that Katie's saying that they left with the original friends and they offered one of these interviews, and I'm hoping so much that the interviews that they're doing, that they actually didn't kill him. Because then that's the case, Katie's not lying when she tells the police, hey, I just saw him for a second, and that he rode with his original friends that he came with and that she went with hers. And they're saying that's what I'm saying. So that window of time matters. Who saw him last matters. That's how we understand the story.
Yeah, but Mila, hold on, Mila. What's that, guys? I mean, you continue to say that she said she only saw him for a short time, as if though they were all in the same space together. Okay, you have to look at. You said the last. So right now, based on everything you said, she was actually the last person that saw him, not the other group. Because the other group was already gone, but they were not together at the same time.
If she's telling the truth, then they are the last ones that saw her. If she's telling the truth, and then they're lying. If she's telling the truth.
No, exactly. But you gotta look at it. When he left his group to go see her, we don't know, was it a mile away, 2 miles? We don't know. But we do know this, that Katie did not see that group of people. Okay? But we do know that she saw Nolan.
That's not what Katie said. Did you read the statements that her mother released and her family released on her behalf?
Mila, that's what she said. Why are we having this conflict based on what you believe she said?
No, I'm not believing anything. She said, I want to say what they said that she said. Her family stated that first they were reporting that Katie was missing. Because when it first came out, they gave the wrong name. Then they said, the girl that Nolan Wells was with was missing. Then the family came out and said, no, she's not missing. And they explained that she had spoke to the police and stated that Nolan Wells and her did have a conversation, but that there was a separate boat and that she went on a different boat and that he stated that he had to go and that he was going to catch back up with his original friends that he got on the boat with. Then he got there. That's what I'm telling you.
No. Hold on.
She said that, not.
I got it. But listen, he said he has to catch back up with them. That means the moment that she had her conversation with Nolan, the group that he was going to catch back up was not present.
No, I don't believe that. I believe that if she's, again.
Why the hell would he tell her?
I got to say if because I don't know.
Why the hell would he tell her that I need to go catch a boat to go meet up with some people he was already fucking with?
That means that Nolan got on the boat with
them. What are we talking about?
If that story was true, and then something.
What are we talking about?
Back from the boat, if that is true.
Edward, am I hearing the same thing?
If she's lying, then that means that something happened with her and she knew and saw what happened to him before she got
They
on that
just
boat.
making shit up. Like, I mean,
No,
it's
I'm not.
just
I don't
like
think you
y'all just
understand what I'm
making
saying.
shit
So
up.
No, we get what you're
At the end of the
saying.
day,
all I'm saying
at
is
the end of the
different
day,
stories, and it's already
regardless.
publicly knowledge. That's not. It's already public knowledge what Katie said and what Warren and them
Let me
stated.
try.
It's
Let
public
me
knowledge.
try.
I'm
No,
not
hold
saying
on,
that
Harley.
they-
Let me just say this.
don't
Let me
understand
just say
how it
this. If he left with his friend, the girl, or the freaking cast of the Muppets, what does the forensic evidence say? What does it say?
No, all I'm saying is it's like
What is it? No, I don't want to hear what you're saying. I'm talking about the science. What is the science telling us?
We don't know a whole lot yet, do we? Because they haven't really, but it does seem, I mean, I read something about maybe he may have hit like his neck area on something. I'm not sure.
Those type of
They said he
injuries.
had redness on the back of his neck, and they
Okay.
weren't sure if he was hit.
Those,
kinda
and who knows if he had fell and hit the side of the damn boat being drunk, as he had no business being intoxicated at the age that he was, being very young and inexperienced consuming alcohol. So like I said, let's wait and listen to the science. But what you're saying, young lady, it doesn't indicate that any of these young people had anything to do with this young man's death.
That's
So
not
to sit
my
up in
point
here
at
and
all.
say-
I don't understand.
But to sit
how
up
that
in
can't
here-
be the point. So I think that's why I'm like having a hard time having a conversation.
It seems like
because
you don't
all I'm
want-
doing is saying there were two different narratives, and I was mainly talking to when Jay brought out the conversation of what he believed,
So
right? And I'm saying there was two different narratives that was being pushed to the forefront. We had Katie's story and we have Warren and their story. That's the bottom line. And all I said was after their story that they gave and what they saw when they saw Nolan, where they believe Nolan went, prior to them leaving him, something happened. We don't know. And so every piece of the story matters to kind of understand what could have happened, including the autopsy and the toxicology report.
All right.
But I'm just stating that portion of time is missing. That's it. I don't get
All right.
Okay.
I just want to try.
Because I've been waiting for it.
Yeah, I just want to try one last time with this.
Good.
I know. Okay. When you're at a party on an island, the boats pull up. They don't always pull up in the same cluster. In this case, I don't know how big this island is. They could have pulled up in different areas. It's very dark. It's 4 a.m. People are drunk. People are tired. He goes over, he tells his friends, look, honestly, he probably wanted to hook up with this girl. Let's be real. So he goes over to this girl to where she was. He tries to talk her up. Maybe it didn't go, maybe she's like, I just want to go home, right? And so he's like, fuck, okay, I'm going to go back to my friends, because he saw that he probably couldn't fit on her boat and it wasn't going to work that way. So he needed to go back to his friends. So he tells her, all right, no worries, I'm going to go catch up with my friends. She never said in her statement, I saw with my eyes that he walked back over to his friends and he got on the boat with them and he was physically with them. By the point he got back to where his friends were, they probably had already fucking left. So all we know is that she actually is the last person to have seen him. She did not say, I saw him get on the boat with those guys. All she said is what he told. She's not lying. These stories are not inconsistent. Do you see now? They're not inconsistent at all.
That's the point of my conversation. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Okay, so what I am saying we relying on evidence for the interaction with Nolan Wells. We have Katie and we have the boys. So these are people with the interaction with Nolan Wells. What I am mainly saying is that it's very inconclusive right now, and that we don't know what happened to Nolan Wells due to the inconsistency in the statements of Warren, and also Katie. That was the main basis of that. I'm saying that with the inconsistency, we don't know actually what happened. And having that missed time frame of where he possibly died at that certain time, we don't know. So that's what I'm saying. Every part of the story matters, and inconsistencies is not helping us understand the story. That's the main thing.
Also,
I'm not saying that Katie or anybody killed him. I don't know. That's what I just said like about 5 to 6 times now. Like, I don't know. I don't really know.
Also,
I'm asking for autopsy. I'm asking for toxicology. I'm waiting for the
toxicology. Well, no shit.
But it's
hey, mother. It also seems really strange that or not just strange. It seems suspicious, right? Because we gotta like I'm just not here with this narrative about like these boys should be absolved or protected from any sort of scrutiny. I think that based off of what I saw, they look like they're being deceptive, and I think that that's good enough for people to chime in. Now, I don't believe that anybody should be receiving death threats, but I don't subscribe to anybody receiving death threats. Yeah, but I do believe that if you're looking sus and there is a lot of suspicious things with this story, this inconsistencies. There's the fact that they just look like they're lying, and also why did they privatize their social media? You know what I mean? I feel like that would have been
fucking sparks like you going crazy on the way.
I think that, huh?
And that makes sense why they privatize their social
They trying to hide themselves. They're not public figures.
It doesn't matter.
That was
They
me.
should. When they privatize their social media,
any side.
that's indicative of somebody trying to
any
be
side.
deceptive.
I would have, if I was the family of Nolan Wells, if I was I'm more than likely.
It's indicative of somebody not wanting to be harassed by weird people on the internet.
Yeah.
They're gonna be harassed regardless.
Well, they're gonna do what they can do to protect themselves. So I'm not
They
gonna.
still, but actually, if that was the intention,
I'm talking about.
if that was the intention,
because they're not the only ones being harassed on the internet.
exactly, and
That
if that
man's
was the
family being
intention,
harassed too. So
if that was the intention, then they probably shouldn't have started hiding shit. They look suspicious. So
what were they hiding?
They weren't hiding anything. You put this shit on private to avoid being harassed. It hides the shit that's on your profile.
I'm going back to the same.
I'm going back
and
to
they
the
knew
same
that he was the only black person
that I had on Carmelo. Dog.
Ain't nobody looking
going
at
back to the same viewpoint, which is I'm going to actually let the law do its job, and hopefully it does its job. Because this is what I'm not gonna do. Because I see it on both sides of the argument. We'll take this to make our own points about how we feel about how the justice system works, whether we believe it's fair or unfair. And it's not, I don't think it's unfair for anybody to question whether this shit is foul play. This America. Like, it's a black man on a boat with a bunch of white folks. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. I know it's people that like to play obtuse in these spaces. But yeah, it's gonna be people that feel like, hey man, that's kind of suspect. You feel me? Give it some time though. Cause if it do come out that it wasn't no foul play, then we done spend a lot of unnecessary energy on trying to ridicule people. And if it come out that it was foul play, I would hope that niggas ain't taking some kind of like secondary, like false vindication. Just let the law play, because this shit ain't finna change how the motherfucking system work. If you think that the system unfair, whether it come out to be foul play or not, this motherfucker still gonna be unfair. And that's just how I feel. But we got to, man, I say this, man, with all respect to that young man and respect to his family. We got bigger things to deal with as Americans. Let that family deal with that. Let that city and county, that area deal with that. And let them, because they the people that got to deal with that pain. On both sides of the coin, they got to deal with all of that. So it's easy for us to talk about it, but there's plenty of other shit we could be discussing as Americans.
Also, it's very important to understand.
JJ, real quick. So what you're saying? Yeah. So what you're saying, here's the thing about it. Those black people on that boat too, right? So that's that. So it wasn't just like one crowd or one guy around a whole bunch of white people, which isn't a problem, because clearly the goal is to actually find foul play. A lot of us work around white people, live around white people. In many spaces where we're the extreme minority, and nothing happens. So this whole like boogeyman conjure about white people being evil and therefore you got to watch yourselves is just fucking nonsense. At least you watch yourselves around anybody and protect yourself, because your life is your ultimate responsibility. So that's that. The issue is that we need something to suggest foul play. If they say they found the boy and his eyes was missing, a certain parts was missing, yeah, don't look good, don't sound good. He got scratches and bruises all over him. Anything, any type of indication of malice, some type of hostility, but we don't have that. And after a month and some change of this case, we still don't have it. And we're constantly waiting, not all of us, but a lot of us are waiting for that confirmation to just, try to move that direction. So I'll say this in short. People like me are going for the evidence where it leads us to. Other people have drawn the conclusion and are looking for evidence to support their conclusion. That's the difference. And no offense to you, JJ, but I think that's where you at. I don't mind saying the boys killed him and there's some malicious towards him. I just need evidence for that. But it seems like, and this is what I'm going to ask you in short, I know you want to speak, just let me, I'm going to land on this, so trust me, you got after this. Are you open to the idea that it could be a potentially accidental death? Like if it comes out that they found no foul play and the autopsy showed that there was no homicidal actions that happened towards this boy, will you accept the fact that this is likely accidental death?
Okay, so first of all, yes, obviously we got to go where the evidence leads, but we got to understand first and foremost, Mississippi is a red state, and in this political climate where this administration has been extremely inflammatory and just racist, and a lot of people have followed suit, and there's a deep history in Mississippi. I was actually speaking to somebody on here who's from Mississippi, who was saying that this has been an issue before this case of foul play in regards to the police system as well as the coroner. So there, when you have like a context for nefarious actions and a lot of suspicious activity and bad faith behavior from institutions within a state that has a history of racism and slavery and all those kind of things, Jim Crow, all of the things. It is reasonable for people to be suspicious. I'm not condemning anybody, but I think that also I'm not over the way that they're being. These kids are being. First of all, they're not kids; they're grown. They're 18. The way that they're being framed is problematic to me, and I don't feel that if the roles were reversed and it was a bunch of black people partying and one white friend, that they would be given the same sort of grace. They're not above criticism. I think it's weird as fuck that they all blocked out their social media and they have inconsistent stories, and those things deserve to be given the same scrutiny
This is fucking
that
weird.
all other weird cases got.
This is fucking
I
weird.
don't understand, like,
why would people put their social media channels on private?
They're like 18 years old.
This is fucking weird.
So,
Something is going on. There's a cover up.
Everybody's
The fuck